As we begin this section, I want to take a look at our map so that we can kind of see where we're going. We're going to be mainly in Rome, and remembering that Italy is still existing in city-states, so we can see how those are divided up. And Rome becomes a real hub during the Baroque time period, with Bernini at the center. Bernini is all over Rome, so if you're walking towards the castle, towards St. Peter's, this is a bridge that you would go over, and it has all Bernini statues along the side. He also sculpted a very famous series of sculptures in a fountain in Piazza Navona. This is what a piazza would look like, surrounded by either homes, up on the top apartments, or restaurants down at the bottom. And there's a lot of walking in the old downtown of Rome. Cobblestone streets, not a lot of driving, cars, but bikes, mopeds. This used to be a stadium, so think Colosseum, but on a smaller level, so that's why it's a different shape. And now people will come and walk the circle for exercise early in the morning when it's hot in the summertime. So this is kind of the backside of Bernini's Four Rivers sculpture, and each figure stands for, personifies major rivers on the four continents. So Danube, Ganges, the Plata, and the Nile. And one of the things to really point out is Bernini's ability to capture movement and action. Notice the horse that is in the center of this fountain as well. So Rome has access to a lot of aquifers, so they have a lot of freshwater fountains. The water is drinkable. The sculpture that we want to spend some time looking at is Bernini's David. Now, we have seen these before, but this is something new and different. This is the last David that we're going to look at, and let's remind ourselves where we've been with Donatello's and Verrocchio's. We have very feminine male nudes with Goliath's head already at the feet of David. And then we looked at the High Renaissance sculpture by Michelangelo of the David. That's a monumental nude where it is before killing Goliath, so no longer is the head of Goliath at the feet of David, but he is thinking and contemplating. And comparing this then to Bernini's, we have Bernini depicting David in full action. He is reared back with his sling, with his rock, and he has a very determined expression on his face, full of emotion. He's got his bag with extra stones in it, and it is just full of tense action. Goliath's head is not at the bottom. Bernini has depicted David that split second of action as if it were a camera, and you have a fraction of a second where he's launching his stone. This is at the time of battle. This was really astonishing to Bernini's contemporaries because he was able to carve marble, hard stone, as if it were butter. Notice some details. This is maybe the view that you would have. This is in the Borghese Art Museum. And you can see the amount of detail. Look at the rope that is a part of his sling here as he launches the stone. And it looks, it has texture, yet it is hard marble and stone. The Borghese Museum, Cardinal Borghese was a huge patron of the arts. And so if you ever get a chance to go in Rome, it is a great place to see loads of artwork. Bernini is considered really a universal genius of the 17th century. He's a sculptor, an architect, a painter, and there are legendary stories about him. This sculpture really demonstrates, I think, Bernini's ability to master marble. This is the nymph Daphne being pursued by Apollo, the god of light. And she is fleeing from him, and the way that she's doing that is by turning into a laurel tree. Take a moment to really look at some of the texture of the hair of both of them, but her hair as it's hair that turns into leaves, and then at the base of the sculpture where her leg encounters kind of the bark, and the bark takes over her leg and her body. And you can see the texture that is there and the expression on their faces. You can see her toes are being turned into the roots of the laurel tree. In the Villa Borghese, the presence of this pagan myth is paired with a plaque that is on the base of the sculpture, written by one of the cardinals, Cardinal Barberini, that says, "Those who love to pursue fleeting forms of pleasure, in the end find only leaves and bitter berries in their hands."